Hey, what's going on guys? It's Panda here, back for some more Katawa Shoujo. It's actually been a while since I last recorded. I had a busy weekend, well, not really busy, just a bit of a raging party. I went to a paint party, and if none of you know what that actually is, it's basically you go to a big sort of, I don't know, warehouse area, an event center I guess, and they basically have people on the stage that have fluorescent paint and just spray it all over you while you rage to epic music. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, I was pretty, how do I put this, tired, overwhelmed the rest of the weekend, so, or hungover, I guess. Yeah, so I didn't really have time to do any Katawa Shoujo. So anyway, I'm back for it. Let's get back into it. I believe we last left off bidding our farewells to Lily as she departs for Scotland? Ireland? Scotland? Maybe? I think? From memory? I can't remember. Anyway, let's get into it. I can't remember whether I've read this, so I'm going to read it anyway. The two of us stand at the gates for a long time, even after they've disappeared from sight, not really knowing what to do. So, what do you want to do? I don't know. Well, this is awkward. Ooh. 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 Well, let's go into the city, shall we? The bus stop standing by the school gates like a minute sentinel puts a strange idea in my mind. Do you want to head into town and look for a bookshop or something? We have the rest of the day free. It's a long shot, as Hanako doesn't like going into the city. I count the fact that we managed to get her out there even when it was so dark as a small miracle, but I genuinely want to spend more time with her. Aww. Anyway, she's likely to refuse and just go back to... Okay. Oh yeah, really? Really, let's go. I can't work out why Hanako has decided to agree with me, but I'm not about to ask her to change her mind. Look at you two, eh? Breaking out of your shells, you know, you've finally grown some balls, Hisao, you know, you're asking the girl you like to go, you know, out to town with you, you know, just you and her alone. And she has managed to actually, you know, say yes once in a while. This is good. This is good progress, guys. Stepping off the bus, I immediately noticed that a lot of people are around us. In hindsight, it should have been obvious. Of course lots of people will be downtown on a Saturday afternoon. Hanako retreats close to my side, and I can feel her hand clutching my arm tightly. Her body is held against mine, and her head is bowed so low that her hat hides most of her scarring. So, where shall we go? Bookshop? Hanako's present and my other general living expenses have pretty much drained my budget, but I should be able to afford a few books. There's something I try to reserve a few funds for anyway. For a second I think Hanako didn't hear me, but then I looked to my side and noticed her nodding almost imperceptibly. Ooh, got that one. Okay, do you know what one? Actually I do. We passed a few when Lily and I were looking for your presents. Hanako's expression clouds a fraction. I've got to remember to stop bringing up her birthday. You both spend a lot of time? Or maybe I misjudged the situation. We wanted to make sure we got you the right present after all. Hanako smiles and blushes a bit. It's a small treasure when she does. Anyway, there should be a bookshop just up ahead. Do you want to check it out? Sure. The crowds start to build as we head towards the bookshop along the raised walkways. Hanako latches her other arm onto me as well, making our progress a little slower. Yeah, that doesn't matter as long as she's holding on to you, bro. As we walk, the sound of the traffic makes me think of a possible distraction for her. I was wondering, Hanako, have you thought yet about what you're going to learn to drive? When you're going to learn to drive? Driving? Yeah, you're kind of lucky in a way. There aren't a whole lot of students in Yamaku that are allowed to drive. It's not the best topic of conversation, but I want to try and distract Hanako from the situation. She's really highly strung right now. Then again, all I've really done is make her feel awkward. Since she's probably never thought about it, I wish I hadn't have said anything. Yeah, you fucked that one up, buddy. Before long, before one of the bookshops Lily and I passed during our search. During our search. And there should be a vending machine just around here somewhere. You know, where we got strawberry milk and soda pop. I don't even know what Hisao actually got, to be honest. What kind of self-respecting bookshop closes on Saturdays? Bookshops don't make much money anymore because of the internet. Maybe they just had to close over weekends? She seems pretty knowledgeable about technology. I guess it's a pursuit that would lend itself well to someone who enjoys solitude. Hey, are you saying all us internet folk are, you know, solitude and confined and don't like outside? I'm allergic to people. Shush. Huh, I guess that makes sense. It's easier to find books online. Anyway, it looks like this idea is shot. Anything else you'd like to do? If it's not a bother, could you show me where you brought my present? Sure, not a problem. It's not far from here. I head off in the direction of the store, only half sure of its exact location. I don't want to repeat of the last time, spending half the day walking around aimlessly. Here we are, Othello's Antiques. Othello's. It's small. I really hope you're talking about the book, the shop there. Hanako, alright? Not many other girls have complained, alright? So you can just... yeah, okay. Well, yes, it took Lily and I some time to find it. Can we go in? You know, now that my mind is in the gutter, all I can think of is just other things that, you know, mix in with that. Can we go in? Well, yes, it took me... yeah, okay, anyway. I don't see why not. It's open. Alright, that makes no sense for my dirty mind. Hanako pushes through the door and enters before me. Once again, the store is empty, save for the store owner. His face drops a little when he sees me. I'd like to return these. Oh, you're not here for a return, are you? Actually, I am. Wait, that's not the girl you had with you last time. Yeah, I get around. No, we're not here to return anything. We were just in town and wanted to have another look in here. The store owner considers us for quite a long time. I guess he's not used to high school students. I shouldn't have had a pause in there. High school students coming to his shop on a regular basis. Might this be the friend you bought gifts for? That's right, they were presents for her. The store owner turns to Hanako, who freezes on the spot like a deer caught in the headlights. He moves to address her, but stops before doing so, looking a little taken aback. He catches himself staring and looks to the side, addressing us indirectly. His expression is awkward and tense, as is his entire body. I want to be mad at him, but I know full well that I had the same instinctive reaction when I first saw her. First surprise and curiosity, then an awkward look away as I dealt with what I'd seen. I think everybody's like that, and yeah, I mean, no one's perfect. Hanako looks less panicked than before, but I think the feeling she's giving off now is worse. It's not anger nor annoyance, if anything, it's one of apology. You're lucky there, young lady, to have friends that care about you as much as they do. Thank you. If I hadn't spent so much time with Hanako, I wouldn't have even realised that she said anything. Then again, the store owner's mumble was hardly clear either. Thanks in part to being directed away from us. Hanako strikes out into the store, gazing in wonder at the various items on display. She finds the doll section and spends lingering minutes studying each and every one. It's a side of Hanako I've only barely been introduced to. I was astonished when Lily said she liked dolls, even more so to find her collection sitting on her dresser. She looks a little better now that she's distracted and out of the store owner's sight, but I'm still quite put off by the whole experience. It wasn't that bad, bro. I might have my own problems, but I've never had strangers react to me like that, as if I was something completely alien to them. Well, you have a heart problem, they can't see that, so... Oh my god, I just realised another ugly looking painting. Just like the one in the hallway of Yamaku. This is a nice shop. Yeah, it's not what I expected. Do you want to buy something? I didn't bring any money. I can buy you something. Well, we can... No, Hisao. you are supposed to buy for the woman. Actually, if you do that, then they expect a present every time after that. Just a little bit of advice. Don't be too giving in. Now that I know where to find it, that is. We can. Of course, we can come here as often as you'd like. Thank you, since we're a couple now. You don't need to thank me. I almost forgot where this place was. I don't really think either of us completely believes in what we're saying, but rather we're just repeating what we think we should say. 'Cause you're in love. Can we go back to the school now? Sure thing, let's go. Oh, that was it? Oh man. That was a bit of a boring outing. As we leave for the bus stop, I see the store owner peek through the curtain at the back of the shop. I'm not really sure what that glance he gives to her says. It feels a bit weird, and the fact that Hanako didn't see it is both a relief and a bit frustrating. Hanako and I stopped walking once we reached a concrete area between the dormitory buildings. There was barely a word said between us on the way back from the city. Well then, goodbye. That's awkward. Do you want to have some tea or something? How about a game? Hanako shakes her head embarrassedly. I'm tired. Maybe later? I've got homework. She sounds a little depressed. Hanako obviously does want to do more, but I suppose she would have a bit of schoolwork to catch up on. She's missed a few days of lessons. Ah, homework. Thanks for reminding me. I've got a stack to do as well. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. See you, Hisao. Wow, that was a bit anticlimactic. I was expecting a little more happy. Before I can say goodbye, Hanako has turned and begun walking towards the entrance to the female dormitory building. I look at the door she disappears through for a bit, before going off towards my own dorms. Today was a tiring day. Very true. 'Twas a tiring day in the life of Katawa Shoujo. As we go into the next chapter, or Act 4, Scars. I woke up, took my pills, had a nice shower, quickly slipped on my uniform, ate a tasty breakfast, grabbed my bag and headed off all as per my usual daily routine. I almost got that sentence exactly right apart from the bit I fucked up at the end. It was only after arriving in class that the normality of the day was thrown off. After taking my seat, I watched my classmates trickle into the room over the next hour until every empty seat was eventually taken other than Hanako's. I can never get used to the idea that she just doesn't show up to class every now and again. It feels like all the more worrying now as well, given that Lily's left. As Mattel continues to drone on, I find my gaze flicking every so often to her seat, as if she might appear there any moment now. Nobody else seems to care at all about her absence, but they have little reason to. Hanako being absent from class, after all, is perfectly normal, or at least it was. Her attendance hasn't been all that bad from what I've seen in my time here, but it was apparently much more spotty beforehand. This is also an ominous time for her to be gone. It's the day before her birthday, and my suspicions are starting to rise, after the breakdown she had in class when it was mentioned. An increasing amount of my thoughts is taken up by how I can help her, but in the end I feel like I can't do anything. The bell heralding the beginning of lunchtime rings out, shaking me out of my thoughts. A collective sigh of relief can be heard from the class, though Mattel looks quite put off. He dislikes being interrupted in the middle of his exciting lectures, after all. I sense a hint of sarcasm there, Hisao. Just when I'm wondering what I should do on lunch break, given that Hanako and Lily aren't here, the solution presents itself. Oh, God. Afternoon, Hichan. ... Afternoon, Misha, Shizune. You both look as bright as ever. ... Hichan wants to know if you'd like to have lunch with us today. Sure, it'll be good to have some company. The cafeteria hums with activity, much like my old schools did. Yamaku is different though. It's how strangely civilized the lunchtime rushes. One would expect to be an unruly mob chomping at the bit to get to the serving area. It's rather a neat and organised line. There's a small amount of jostling and people's heads are often craning around to check out what's happening up ahead, but it's pretty subdued. This is due, no doubt, to serious rules regarding such matters in the school. The same strict discipline is observed when students moor in the hallways or come to and from their dormitories to the school gate. While the reasons for it may be slightly off-putting, I've come to quite like the sense of order that's enforced in the school. I don't really like being told by Shizune and Misha to get their lunches, though I feel a little used as I take a seat at the table where they're sitting, plunking their food down in front of them. Sweet bread and strawberry milk for Misha, a bowl of ramen, and juice for Shizune. What is ramen? I heave a sigh as I put it all down. I don't think that was the right sign. After the significant difficulty I had carrying it all in addition to my own lunch. Thank you. Misha claps her hands together before popping open the wrapper and digging into her bread ravenously. Ramen. Shizune simply gives an appreciative nod before giving her steaming ramen. Sounds revolting. A stir and blowing on a little to cool it down. Just steaming ramen just doesn't sound good. Even though I don't know what it is. I open my own lunch, another packet of sweet bread, and take a bite before washing it down with some juice. The bread is very sweet. Considering it's sweet bread, that's not a huge thing. So much so that I end up forcing myself to stomach it just to get the experience over with. Is sweet bread like expired bread or expired yeast or off yeast? Something? Yeah, I don't know. Midway through, I decide to take a break from the difficult task and ask what's on my mind.